So now the task is to construct two congruent triangles with vertical angles. So now our task is to construct a pair of congruent triangles with at least one pair of vertical angles. Now I know that's for a lot of you that's a lot to ask, but if we break down what vertical angles mean and take advantage of our ability to create congruent segments, then this is actually one of the easier triangles to construct. So to start with drawing congruent triangles with vertical angles, I'm going to start by focusing on the vertical angles part, which starts by drawing two lines that intersect that are way too long. Not even way too long, but longer than I need them to be. And I'll show you why next. So right now you can see that I've already created two pairs of congruent vertical angles, and I'll pick this and this as the angles I want to make my triangles around. So right now I have a pair of vertical angles, but you might say, Mr. Wong, how do you make sure the sides are all congruent? And I'll tell you now. So I know that if I put the center of my compass at the point of intersection here, I can use the slider to draw an arc on one half of one of the lines. And if I keep this measure and bring it all the way around, I would now have a pair of congruent segments with the point of intersection of the two lines as my midpoint. And I'll be able to say this segment and this segment are congruent, and I can erase the excess. And now that I have one pair of congruent sides, you might have a pretty good guess at what I'm going to do next. That's right, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put the center of my compass in the point of intersection again. I'll change the slide rule, even though it doesn't really matter how far I make it. And I'll do one arc on this side, and then keeping that measure, I'll do one arc on the other side of this line. And once again, I've now found my endpoints in this triangle. Which tells me that these two segments are now congruent. And now that I know that's true, I can connect these two endpoints. And now I have a pair of congruent angles. And while you can use this pair of congruent triangles to demonstrate any relationship between side, 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 angle, side, angle, side, angle, and angle, angle, side, if you look at the diagram, it's pretty clear to see that I've already established a side, angle, side congruence between these two triangles. So as you can see, as long as you're taking advantage of the fact that it's made out of vertical angles, and you take advantage of your ability to cut a line into a segment that you can divide into two congruent pieces, then making congruent triangles out of vertical angles is not so much of a hard task at all.